Hello.
Yeah, I hope you can hear us and see us okay. I'm just going to wait for my monitor to kick in here so I can check that out as well. But we've got a lot of people coming in right now, so that is good. And let's see what's happening over here.
Hello, everybody.
Yep, everything is fine and dandy. So, hello everybody again, and a few people are still coming in, so we'll let them come in. But in the meantime, we'll do roll call. And first one on our list is Russ of Quilt Meets World. And Russ sent me some pictures this afternoon of him buying Canadian potato chips somewhere. Didn't say where you got them, Russ, but the all dressed ones, which are Canadian, but
well, maybe they're American now. I don't know.
I guess we no longer need to worry about taking any down when we go to Georgia, because if they're available now in the United States. So, but there's other flavors. I don't know. I've never seen the roast turkey ones.
They sometimes come out, and you can get the President's Choice ones.
Oh, do they?
They have different flavors.
Yeah. Well, I don't eat potato chips, so I don't know.
I like potato chips, but I'm not supposed to eat them either.
So. Yeah, right. We can't eat anything that I like anymore, because Walter says, "Well, you can have it, but I can't eat that." But whatever. So Michelle is here, Jan, Donna, Brenda's here, Judy's here, Josie's here. Josie, excuse me if you've been here before and I don't remember, but your name is popping out to me, so I don't remember exactly if you've been here before, but if this is your first time here, welcome. Pace is here, Cheryl is here, Barb, Charlotte, Sue Norfleet's here. Are we recovered from the retreat? Well, we'll talk about that, Sue. Are you recovered from the retreat, Sue? Sue was one of my presenters yesterday and did a brilliant job. And I know she put a lot of effort and a lot of work into it as well, so which was greatly appreciated. Philippa's here. Hi, Philippa. And Kathy's here. And Mona is here. Candace is here. Nina is here. Stephanie is here. And Russ says, I found the chips in Publix. Apparently they're a limited run. No, it's checking out to see how the Americans feel about them. Yeah. And Faith is here. Sue says the all dressed chips are so addictive. Yeah, if you're not familiar with what all dressed chips are, there's something here. We've had them for quite a few years here in Canada, but basically they're garbage chips. They've got everything on them that other flavors of chips all combined in one. It's sort of in a way like, but not exactly like, all dressed bagels. If you know what those are, I'm sure you've got them in the States, all dressed bagels. But, they've got every flavor on them. So, yeah, that's why I called them the garbage potato chips, because...
Well, they're a mixture of flavors.
Yeah,
obviously.
mixture. Yeah. But anyways, we took some down last year.
They're not bad.
No, I like the all dressed ones. It's just, I just don't eat chips. I mean,
yeah, well,
I could eat 2 chips and I'm fine.
Well, we did go on a run of them.
Well, we did at one point. Yeah, maybe that's why I don't bother anymore, because after a while.
Chips are something I've always liked, but they're fattening, so.
Yeah. And he says, glad to join in. I thoroughly enjoyed the retreat yesterday. Well, I'm glad that you did, Nina. Let's see. I said that. All dressed. Candace says new shirt looks great. And Brenda likes the new shirt. And Robert Cox is here. And Candace says, yes, great presentations from Sue and Lydia. Yes, Lydia did a fantastic job as well. Michelle's hi from Missouri. Robert says, hello, Mr. Walter.
Hello.
Why do you get a mister?
I don't know.
Well, it's because you're old. Yeah, that'd be it.
I'm not as old as you.
Yeah, but I'm youthful looking and acting. You're not like a miserable old man like you are.
I don't know.
See, there's just a miserable old man look. Look on that face. Miserable old man face. Yeah. So Andy's here. Grant is here. And Josie says, yes, I've watched you and Walter in the past. I drop in when I can. I really enjoy watching you too. Okay, well, great, Josie. I'm glad you're able to come in today. So anyways, let's see what I've been working on. Well, let's talk about what Walter's been working on. Yes, this is Walter's shirt that he made for me, and you can see.
I had it laying around for a couple of weeks.
He's not fast.
No, I'm not fast. I go in spurts. I'll go all of a sudden do it.
All my
so
kitties.
Earlier this week I did the collar, but yesterday I finished it. So,
yeah, it's got that new shirt smell to it as well. But yeah, I love this one. Now this fabric, I have another shirt made in a different colorway of these kitties, but I really like this colorway.
Yeah, we found the fabric when we were in Berlin. At one of the fabric stores when we went to Ohio this summer, and I saw it, and right away I recognized the fabric, that it was the same as the blue fabric that I made you a shirt from, but different colorway.
Yeah.
And I thought you saw it, and I said, how about if you want a shirt with that? So
that when we go out and I've got this shirt on, you know what's going to happen. People go, oh, I love your shirt. Where did you get it? My seamstress made it for me.
Yeah, Steve counted.
Do you have a shop?
Steve counted how many shirts I've made him. So
yeah, Walter's made me 15 shirts and
short sleeves.
Short sleeve shirts. Yeah, then there's one long sleeve.
Yeah.
I need more long sleeve.
Yeah, I need to do that.
But I don't know. I have a feeling I'm going to be wearing short sleeves
ever
throughout
since
the
I've
winter.
been retired, I don't like wearing long sleeves much anymore.
You know, I mean, you're inside in the wintertime, so you know, it's not like it's cold.
If I get cold, I throw on a sweater, or a jacket or something.
Yeah. Kay says, because Walter is a gem, Kay's part of your fan club. Yeah.
Yeah, I made him 15 and I've got 12.
Yeah, so it's 27 shirts Walter has made in. When did you start making shirts? How long ago? At least what, 3 years? Hard to tell. When you get this age, time flies very fast.
How long I've been making them. But I mean, I really, once I've gotten the hang of doing it, I'm not too speedy, especially the last few, because doing the same thing over and over again tends to get kind of boring.
Yeah. Cynthia says, hey guys, happy Thanksgiving. Cynthia, you have a little problem with the calendar, don't you? That was last weekend here in Canada. Yeah. Thanks for the belated happy Thanksgiving greetings, though, but that was last weekend. Colleen's here. Hi, Colleen. And Jeannie's here. Gail is here from Central Ohio. So anyways, yeah, I'm wearing this new shirt. And people always look, when they say to me, oh, where did you get it? I said, he makes them. Oh, does he have a store? Does he make them for people?
Yeah, good luck.
And I said,
I'm slow enough as it is.
I usually say to them, you can't afford them. And they look at me and I said, this is a custom shirt. It's not off a rack.
Yeah, it would cost way too much.
One of a kind. Well, I tell them, I said, this shirt's at least $200.
It's a fair bit of work to do, and it's a fair bit of work to do. I mean, you got to include cutting the fabric out, interfacing it, sewing it all together, and then fixing the times you mess it up.
Oh, you mess up?
And
like put a sleeve on the collar.
And then there's the cost of the fabric.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody knows quilting cotton isn't necessarily
cheap. We've had this discussion many times before. People who do not sew, do not quilt, or don't make garments think that it's cheaper than buying it in a store. Well, there was a day and age, we all know when it was, but it's not anymore. So, and any of you that are quilters out there, I'm sure people have approached you and go, oh, I would like you to make me a quilt. And sometimes they'll say, oh, I'll pay for the fabric. It's not just the fabric.
Well, actually, I think a lot of people that say, oh, yeah, I'll pay for the fabric. And then when they find out how much the fabric costs, they just about
these are not
drop dead.
Blankets in a bag from Walmart, kind of a thing. Karen's here. Hi, Karen. Colleen says those shirts are Harry Rosen quality. They are. Seriously, Colleen, they are. In fact, these shirts are better quality than shirts you will buy in most department stores, men's shirts, for $75, $80, $90. I have not bought a men's
Actually,
short, so
they're
I'm not sure
easily
how much
over
they are now.
$100 now.
Yeah. You know, like,
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're kind of handmade, so
yeah, they wash extremely well. I do not iron shirts. The only time I iron is when I'm making a quilt. I do not iron shirts. I take them out of the dryer. I put them in the washing machine with my regular wash. I put them in the dryer. And every one of the shirts that I have, with the exception of one, are still in great shape.
they will fade over time,
But not that much.
yeah, not too bad.
Not that much.
Some are a little worse.
There's
than
only
others.
that one shirt, that
Yeah, I
blue
did,
one,
yeah.
that, in fact, I don't wear that one
I
much.
still have some of that fabric, but I was thinking you're going to use it for a bag or something that I don't wash very often.
Ooh, there's something. A couple of tote bags. We go out shopping wearing the shirt that matches the tote bag.
Well, you can do that.
I know. Like, talk about fashion plates. Dan is here, and Laurel is here. Michelle says, ditto. I tell those people I would love to teach them how to do it, then I hear nothing. Yeah, that's very true. So anyways, that's what Walter's been up to. We're going to talk about what we're up to on So Chatty for this coming week as well. But before we do it, I'll show you what I've been up to. I haven't been that productive, but I made this. Yeah, you're going to go, well, that's a tote bag. Well, it is. It's a tote bag for wine bottles. It will hold very nicely 2 bottles of wine. And the reason I made it is because I am planning to give it as a Christmas gift to our hairdresser with a couple of bottles of wine in it, maybe some chocolate as well. I'm also thinking of making her the matching tote. This is an In the Hoop project. It's an embroidery project. You do have to use your sewing machine to sew the panels together, but I looked high and low for an In the Hoop embroidery pattern that would make a wine tote bag. All I could find were bags with drawstrings on them, like kind of small cheapo gift bags that, you've got the drawstring through or a ribbon and you pull it tight around the neck of the bottle. I didn't want that. I wanted something that you can use over and over again, like every time you go to the liquor store to pick up some wine or other things. And yeah, a regular tote bag would serve the same purpose, but the bottles bang around in it. Whereas in this one, 2 bottles fit in it very snugly, a little bit of room in there, and it's just more convenient. What I did was I didn't make all the panels for the full-size tote. I eliminated, there are 3 panels on the front, 3 panels on the back. I went to 2 panels on the front, 2 panels on the back, and just did everything else the instructions said as if I was making a tote bag. So the bottom, I actually did the bottom. They didn't call for it, but I wanted it to be more substantial, so I used Soft and Stable, which is just a stabilizer, in the bottom of the bag. Can't see it because the bag is fully lined inside as well, so that's covered up too. It just makes it stand up nicer. So I'm very pleased with the way it turned out. But even more importantly, if you're an In the Hoop embroiderer, if you're a machine embroiderer, think outside of the box of some of the patterns you buy. There's tons of them out there that are for table runners and tote bags and things like that. But
yeah, like if you know the dimensions of a tote, if you have made a tote bag before, they're pretty much the same. And every time you make the tote bag, you can alter the dimensions on your own to suit something special that you want. So
yeah, but don't be afraid to take the basic patterns that you have and do something else with them. For example, you can take a block from a table runner and you can make it into a hot mat, pot holder, that kind of thing. You can even take it and make it into a pillow as well, a pillow cover. You can take the, because they're a table runner are long, but say you want a table topper, you can take some of those blocks and you can arrange them so they're a table topper. There's lots of things you can do with those patterns, so you get more bang for your buck too when you're buying them. So I'm very happy how that turned out, and my idea right now is to make the full-size tote that goes with this. And I have a little zippered pouch too that I'll make. It isn't quite the same design, but I'll use the same fabrics and that in it, so it looks like it matches, and put that whole set together for our hairdresser as a Christmas present. I was thinking about making it too for the next door neighbors, but I don't want to put them on the spot because we were getting a little carried away at Christmas time with the next door neighbors to the point, you know, where they felt that they had to reciprocate. And that wasn't the whole idea of giving them a gift. It was because I like to make these things, and that's why we're doing it. So last year we said to them, they came over here for a drink, and, you know, a few days before Christmas. And we said, no gifts, bring nothing. We don't need to do that. So I guess I'm not going to make anything for them. But I always feel like I should. But
I was going to make another one of those wine totes that I did last time, and just have it hanging around in case.
Yeah, it's an emergency thing. So that's one thing I did. And now this next thing I'm going to show you, I'll talk more about it on the Idiot Quilter. This was a kit. I've had this kit for a while, and I can't remember where I bought the kit.
I wonder if you got it at that store in the Guelph area. You know, that one that had all that kind of fabric in it. I can't remember the name of the store.
That wasn't the one in Cambridge. That
I think it was in
dancing.
I think it was in New Hamburg. There's one that there was a store. Remember the store where it had all the modern stuff, the Juicy Juice stuff?
Yeah.
Not that store.
No.
There was another store.
No, not that one.
There was another store in there that had I think there was a kit that I bought that you made.
That was a store that had what I said, the old lady fabrics. Yeah, I know which one.
They had a lot of this color type fabric.
That might have been where it was.
I think that's where you got it.
But I didn't really think about it too closely, and I pulled it out of my stash of kits the other day because I wanted to do something a little different. This is only 22 inches square. It's meant to be a wall hanging. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to, so that's the complete thing. It's completely done. But I am thinking of extending it and making it into a quilt size that will be good enough to give as a quilt of valor. I'm thinking. I don't know how far I'll go with that.
Well, why don't you make a bunch of more blocks like those maple leaves in similar colors?
Mm-hmm. I can do that, but you know what? Those are 1.5 inch. No, those are 2-inch squares. And they take a while. I might make more of them and just go all the way around. I have to figure out the proportions.
If you can get some fabric that matches it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Actually, the fabric I'm using in the little narrow border, there wasn't enough in their kit, probably because of the way I cut it, because it's supposed to be that orangey color that you see in the leaves. But I use this other one, and it works with it too. Although I've got some 1930s looking reproduction fabrics too that I could do maple leaves with that. It won't be, which will pick up some of the colors. That they don't have to be the exact same colors, but to pick up the hue of them or the shade. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet what I want to do, but I want to make it into a bigger project. That's what I want to do. So that's what I've been up to, and I've been doing a lot of things on the 3D printers too, which I'm going to talk about on my vlog tomorrow as well, because they're Christmas gifts as well, for the ladies at Ultimate Sewing, actually, our local quilt store. Okay, let's see, catch up here. Gloria's here. Cozy Hermitage is here. Ingrid is here. Dana says, what pattern from where? I don't know, Dana. It's called Leaves.
Yeah, he's not even sure where.
I'm not sure where I bought it. You might be able to find it. Oh, actually, Dana, I lie. If you tune in to Idiot Quilter on Tuesday, I will have a link for it, and I will tell you all about it there. I have a whole thing about that. I just remembered that I put that in.
Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah, you'll find it there, Dana. Dana, quit asking me questions about stuff. You still didn't thank me for sending you the link to the AccuQuilt power supply that you can't find. Just saying. Oh, I'm just poking fun at you, Dana. You didn't get that, didn't you, Dana? I sent it to you 2 days ago. Yeah. Monkey Man's here. Tana's here. Hi, Tana. Um, Geez, Tana, I haven't seen you here in a long time. You're a blast from my past when I used to be a Quilter's Way member. Um, Julie's here. Hi, Julie. And let's go down here, catch up. Carrie. Carrie, I think you might be new. Welcome. Full Time Life, I think you might be new too from Norwalk, Ohio. Got some new people today. That's great. You're all welcome. Thank you, Candace. Judy says Heart and Home New. That's it. Yep, Heart and Home New Hamburg or Dancing Stitches Cambridge. Yeah, it was from Heart and Home in New Hamburg. Dancing Stitches in Cambridge. I love that Dancing Stitches store. The last time we were in that area, we went twice when we were there. It's a great shop. Oh, Dana says I meant the bottle bag. Oh, the bottle bag is, well, the original pattern is called Tropical Leaves. It's an in the hoop tote bag. It comes from Sweet Pete Designs. I think it was Sweet Pete.
Yeah. So you altered the size of it.
But I altered it. So I followed their pattern for the panels, but I changed the way that I did it. Yeah, and I altered the size. I did actually the smallest bag.
Yeah, it was not meant as a bottle bag.
No.
But he changed the size of it.
Yeah. Carrie says, I usually have to catch the replay. Well, I'm glad you were able to catch the live today, Carrie. So, anyways, yeah, so that's what we've been working on. I'm getting back into the groove again. Getting my sojo back. I've got to go tomorrow. Come hell or high water, I'm putting my latest Quilt of Valor quilt on Lucy and get that done because it's only a few weeks before we go for that presentation ceremony and the sew day at the Trenton Air Force Base. Trenton is a base that's about an hour east of us. Yeah, they're doing a presentation with one of my quilts I donated a year ago to a vet, and they asked me if I want to be there, and they're also having sort of a sew day, so we're going to that. But I've got another quilt, I showed it to you a couple of weeks ago, that I want to get quilted, bound, and I want to take that day with us. Actually, there's another one I want to take too that's already been done for a while that I've been holding for this to donate while we're down there. So yeah, that's tomorrow's plan, is to get that on the long arm and get on with it. I have another Christmas quilt out there that are gnomes that I need to do too, but I'll do the Quilt of Valor first. Jeannie, hi Jeannie. Pat's here. Hi Pat. Leafs look very soon. Also, my favorite retreat was yesterday. Okay, you never liked the other retreats? I don't like you, Pat.
Doesn't like the sew days either.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Cynthia says, guys, my brain is still in the hospital. Well, get them, put it in a jar and bring it home. Yeah. Maybe put a little pickle juice in with it. No, I understand, Cynthia. Yeah. Okay. So speaking of sew days, sewing with Stephanie and Stephen this coming Wednesday, as always, 9 a.m. start time, but come and go as you please. We run until about 4 in the afternoon. Link is in the show notes. All are welcome. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So let's talk about the fall retreat review. I got a lot of very nice emails. Well, we got a lot of very nice emails from people saying how much they enjoyed the retreat day. And I'm telling you, we had 79 people. This was good this time. Only 2 people on the blacklist. Not going to say who that is or anything more about it. But you guys have been around, you know what I mean by the blacklist. And so that's pretty darn good. And so 79 people. Wasn't full, but I did have some people come at the last minute who asked if there could be a spot, or if there was a spot available, and this time I actually had. Usually I don't. But yeah, I will tell you that there is a hell of a lot of work that I put into the retreat.
Yeah, he does. He does a lot of work. I don't do any work, but he does a lot of work. I did actually get up early.
Yes, he got up early to help keep me straight on things like the attendance and that when people are coming in, because I do take attendance. That's how I know. Because, people reserve their spot. And yeah, so we did that. Didn't have too many technical issues with anybody coming in. There were a couple of people that they weren't that familiar with Zoom, but we got them through it. I am seriously thinking, though, for the next retreat, which will be sometime in the spring, of actually producing a couple of videos that I'll put up on YouTube, showing people who are new to Zoom the basics of how to use Zoom when they're in a retreat situation. It won't be an extensive thing because Zoom is a very powerful program, and depending on the level you're at, as far as someone who might be paying for it, because I have a license. That's part of the cost of doing a retreat. I do pay for a license that allows me 100 people, and I pay for that. Actually, it's a monthly charge, or I get a little cheaper if I buy a whole year, and I do. And that's several $100s for that. I have looked at upgrading to the next level, but the next level is just out of my price league. It's the corporate level. And it suddenly jumps from, about $240 Canadian a year to more like 1,000 and up. So yeah, can't afford to do that. And right now there's no real advantage to me doing that. But when you've got that many people, I had 5 computers, counting Walter's computer, connected, because I have different computers that allow me to do different things. I built a little electronic nest in this area we're sitting in now, and I'm sure those of you that were on there, and if you look, you notice sometimes you got me full on, other times you got me profile, because I was looking at another computer over here that I was using to, when people were coming in, and things like that, chat mode, another computer that runs the videos or the slideshow for the show. I had that running. I have another one that is my announcement computer, where up in the left-hand top screen it was telling you what's coming up next and all of that. And then I have another computer that's simply actually one computer that's a monitor, 2 monitors. I have my iPad off to one side so I can see what you see and hear, because I want to make sure everything's working right. And then I have another monitor that hangs on the wall with another computer over here, which is set up so that when people are speaking, it'll cut to them, because you have gallery mode. So yeah, and then Walter had his computer. So it's a lot of technical stuff that I have to...
I have to admit, I wasn't great at pinning people sometimes because I got busy doing the shirt. So
yeah, it's hard to get good help, really. Personal assistant, not. But anyways, I've done it enough times that, it works out okay. And then, of course, we had prizes. I always have prizes at the retreat. I love to give prizes. I wish I could give more prizes, but it's cost prohibitive, okay? There was Amazon gift certificates, and since the majority of people are Americans that come on there at one, they cost me a little bit more. Like a $20 gift certificate for Amazon.com is actually cost me $28.34 Canadian yesterday. That's so unreal, the exchange rate. But I'm not bitching about that. That's all part and parcel of what I do with this. I expect that. And then, of course, the patterns that I give out.
And you also got some patterns from Stephanie.
Yes, I was going to say that. And Stephanie, of Stephanie Stitches, who's on here, she very generously donated 2 of her original patterns for me to give away as well, which I really appreciate, too. But I do all of this because I enjoy doing it. Okay? If I didn't enjoy doing it, I wouldn't. So, yeah, and hearing people say they had a really good time, that's my goal. To have a day where there's no drama, it's a safe place, everybody is enjoying the day. Now, my guest speakers, that takes some doing to get guest speakers, because in the past, I've had people that are maybe usually connected to YouTube, but are usually big names. Like I've had Kate from the last Homely House, and she's in England. So then you got the time things you have to build in. I've had Adam from Adam Sews. I've had Sean, the guy who sews. I've had Russ from Quilt Meets World. I've had Stephanie from Stephanie Stitches. Um, and I've had a few other ones over the time. And I appreciate each and every one of them. And I don't pay them because I cannot afford to do that. I give them a little thank you gift, but you know, little thank you gift is just a token because they put a lot of effort and time and everything into their presentations. So this time we had Sue, and Sue's on here, Sue Norfleet, and I decided to go with people that are subscribers to my channel and people who I have done things with before. Like Sue is someone that I see every Wednesday because she's a friend and she's on Sewing with Stephanie and Steven. And I knew Sue would be great because Sue's been quilting for many, many years. And those of you that were there yesterday, you heard all about that. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about those people by way of an interview and then have them show you their sewing environment, because I know everybody's always interested in seeing where people do their creative processes. And I also wanted to give a trunk show of some of their favorite creations, and with any little stories background to them they could tell us. And Sue did a brilliant job. And Sue was a little nervous about using the technology for this, but it went off without a hitch. Not a problem. So I really appreciated Sue's presentation. Lydia, who is a Canadian out in the Ottawa area, again, somebody that I know very well, who's a friend. She did this. I did a similar thing with her. I interviewed her. She hasn't been as quilting as long as Sue, but her stuff is absolutely brilliant. She does a whole lot of stuff that I just look at it and go, oh my God, that's out of my comfort zone. And she enjoys doing things out of her comfort zone. And she showed us some of her beautiful work, but she showed us her sewing studio too. And I knew this was going to be a real crowd pleaser because I've seen glimpses of her studio before. She has got the world's best setup. It is incredible, her sewing room. It used to be in her house. It's on the 3rd floor of her house, and it used to be an apartment for her daughter who lived there for a while, but it's out now on her own. And Lydia took it over. And I mean, she's got everything you'd want to have in a sewing studio. She has a kitchen area in it with a sink and a fridge and a microwave. You know, she has a great setup for technical, like for showing things and watching videos and stuff. She has her long arm in the same room, so that gives you an idea of how big the room is. She's made all of her tables, her cutting area, her sewing tables and everything like that coordinate. And she recycled old furniture for all of that, but made it look like it's custom too. So I mean, it was wonderful. Both Sue and Lydia, I can't thank them enough because they put a lot of effort into it. So that was great. And then we had a panel discussion. Now this was something new. I have never done a panel discussion. And thanks to Stephanie, she sent me a whole bunch of topics that could be appropriate for a panel discussion with quilters. And so I took those questions, redeveloped them a little bit, and I had Stephanie, and I had Lydia and Sue, and myself. I acted as moderator, and we had a discussion about traditional quilting and the uses of technology with quilting. And I think we had a really interesting discussion with that. And then we got, of course, everybody in the retreat that wished to speak. We got them involved as well, and they came up with some very interesting points too. So that was something I've never done before, and I think I might try something like that again next time as well, because I think it worked out very well. What do you think?
Yeah, it was. It was good.
Yeah, it was great. But again, The success of that was because of the people who were my presenters with it all. They had the questions in advance and whatever, and they obviously spent some time thinking about what they were going to say about each one, which was so great with them. So yes, I can't thank them enough for that. So let's see who's popped in here while Joanne is here. Celi's here. Barb is here. She says, I absolutely love the pattern I won yesterday. You are welcome, Barb. Mary Overbeck is here. Retreat was my first and definitely plan to attend more. It was great. Love the presentations and the pan. And the pan. I'm not sure what pan is, but I'm sure
or
you
maybe it was something that made
Oh,
it
the
called-
panel discussion. The panel discussion. Okay. Okay, I get it. Charlotte says, yesterday was so much fun. Really appreciate all you did, Stephen. You are welcome. Dana said she updated her Zoom this morning. That's good. Yeah, you know, you tend to forget that, but you need to update your Zoom, people, because they have updates all the time. It's like a Windows or Mac computer. There's always updates, and it's good to be.
Yeah, but I
up on
thought you
top.
could just log into Zoom. You don't necessarily have to download it.
Oh, well, it depends whether you had the standalone. I use the standalone more so than that, but yeah. Jen would love a Zoom tutorial. Yeah, that not right now. That'll come back. I'll do something a couple of weeks before the next retreat. Pat says you're working to make your retreat happen is evident. Thank you, as I appreciate how you use your time and talent. Thank you, Pat. Judy says we owe you more than thank you. Just ask. Dubrovka, hello, Stephen Walter. A bit late, but here. Well, that's okay. Better late than never. Kim is here. Hi, Kim. I've been here for a while, but it wouldn't let me chat. Oh, well, it probably wouldn't let you chat because you have to be a subscriber to the channel for at least 5 minutes. So if you're not a subscriber to the channel, it won't let you in. Cynthia said a lot of work. You were fantastic. Thanks, Cynthia. Sue and Lydia had wonderful presentations, Barb says. Thank you, ladies. P.S. Lydia, I love your sewing room. Yeah, I don't think Lydia's on here today, but I'm sure if she sees this in the rerun, she'll get that. Charlotte liked the panel discussion. So did Nina. And Kathy Patterson says, pretty shirts. Thanks, Kathy. Okay, so yeah, what else can I say about the retreat yesterday? Part of the thing that makes the retreat also successful is the people who come to it and who are very respectful of everybody else. And you know, there were a couple of times when the conversations were going and I couldn't get a word in edgewise without kind of being rude. And I don't like to do that, but there was a couple of cases like in one of
people will get carried away.
Yeah. And I needed to speak to somebody who had just come in because I didn't know who the person was, because they came in like, for example, iPad or iPhone. And this is one of the reasons why I think I need to do put up some tutorial videos, because a lot of people miss the fact that when you first go to sign in Zoom, before you hit the button to go in, you have a menu and there is a spot for you to put your name in or what you want to be called. In the case of my retreat, you have to use your first and last name, real first and last. I don't allow aliases. But what it will do is, if you don't do that, it defaults to whatever is there. So if the last time you went on a Zoom, it said iPad or iPhone or something like that, it's just going to go with that if you don't change it. So then that means I had to go in and find out, first of all, who you were. And people don't seem to recognize the fact that I'm talking to them when I say, hello, iPad guest. Who are you? Hello, iPad guest. Yeah, you. Who are you? And finally, oh, are you talking to me? Because they don't realize that that's what they've come in under. And then I can go in and change it, or they can change it, whatever. Most of the time I have to change it because those same people don't know how to do that. So yeah, I think I need to put up I did have links in the agenda notes that I sent out to everybody that had YouTube videos that show you how to do this, but I think some people didn't bother to watch those for one reason or another. And then if you're on different devices, like I use a Mac computer, and
Yeah,
I
and then
use an iPad.
then you've had some people that click the wrong link to get into the retreat.
The long link.
The wrong link.
The wrong link. Oh, yeah, people you need to read. Okay. When we put up Zoom links, and I put up multiple Zoom links, usually in my show notes, like for our sewing day. But sometimes there'll be a sewing day and a pop-up sew day will be in there. Read which one it is, because if you click on one, a couple of people did that yesterday. It comes up in my email that a person's trying to get into the Zoom, and I see, oh, they clicked the wrong link. So then I try to send them an email, and they don't always look at their email, saying, no, 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 you've hit the wrong link. This is the one you want for this. You need to read. Reading is important. It really
Yeah, like
is.
if you click on a link and it doesn't work, go back and look to see if there's a different link.
Because, yeah, it is a little confusing, but the very first line of the link description tells you what it's for. And so that's what you need to pay attention to if there's more than one link in there. So just a tip on that. So, yeah, I had to be somewhat rude, interrupt conversations to get somebody straightened out so that they were there and everything was fine. And, you know, when you've got 80 people on there and only me trying to, and if the conversation is getting really involved, kind of a thing, it is very difficult to get in there. And the other thing people still don't get, and I go over this all the time, when you're in a Zoom, and it doesn't matter whether it's a retreat, it's a sew day with Stephanie and myself, a pop-up sew day that I have, things like that, you need to, if you're not talking, you need to be on mute, because whatever's happening in your environment will be picked up by your microphones, including your sewing machine. Not always is the sewing machine picked up. It depends on where your microphones are in relation to your machine. But what happens is Zoom identifies you as the current speaker and you become the center of attention. And we hear everything that's going on. So if your phone rings and you answer and you go, oh, hi, Gladys. Yeah, I'm just sitting here doing some sewing with a bunch of people on Zoom. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about going to that next week. Oh, you're kidding. No, she said that? What a bitch. Oh, my God, really? Well, you know what I'd say to her? Okay, we don't need to be privy to that. Okay, so you need to learn how to use your mute button. And that's another thing. People don't know where the mute button is. And so I guess that's why I need to put up a tutorial for it. I know that using technology can be overwhelming, okay, if you're new to it. But we have to learn. We do. We can't escape technology, people. As much as we would like to maybe go back to the 1950s, you know, it's not, and get two cans on a string, it's not going to happen. Okay, we have to keep up or we're going to get left behind, because it's going to happen no matter what we do. So best that we get in the water and swim. Inez says, hello, everybody. Hello, Inez. Love the shirt you're making, Walter. Now I know why I quit quilting. Why I quit instead of sewing. Why I quilt. I'll try to read. I was talking about that. Why I quilt instead of sewing garments. Yeah, garment sewing is a different ball game. So I think that's enough about the retreat. Anything you want to say about the retreat?
Oh, no, somebody's asking me where I bought my pots and pans at different places.
Oh. Yeah, if you don't
somewhere
know,
on the internet.
Walter has been on a pot and pan spree, buying really nice.
I bought some at William Ashley. I bought some at Nikolai restaurant thing. I bought some at some other place called Cookery. And I recently bought something from Williams Food Service restaurant, restaurant supply service in Kitchener. So I got all over the place. So, and I bought one from Amazon, which came from another place called Chef's Supplies or something.
And all clad, right?
Yeah, the ones that I bought were all clad.
They're nice.
Most of them are D3, which is their lower end line, and on one was a little bit more premium called D5. But that's only because I wanted the specific style of pan, and that's the only way I could get that one.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they're nice.
yeah,
Well,
they're
and they
nice.
were expensive, so.
Yeah. So, anyways, now he's on a new kick, cutting board.
No, you bought the cutting boards.
I bought the small ones. You bought the butcher block one, or the
Oh
bamboo
yeah, I
one. The
bought
bamboo
a
one.
bamboo one. Yeah,
Yeah.
a bigger one because Steve had a little accident in the kitchen a couple of weeks ago.
I
And our
did.
cutting board ended up soaking up a lot of vinegar, and it worked really bad.
Yeah,
But it dried out.
we had two butcher block style cutting boards on our counter. I think we bought them at Costco a long time ago, and they're about this thick. Okay, and they're nice, and we've had them on the counter.
We've had them for a long time, and
they're getting marked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the point where they're starting to look a little ratty and that kind of thing. But I was trying to clean out the toothbrush holder part of my water pick, and I had it in a glass of vinegar to clean out the gunge, to soak out the gunge, and the cord that usually is attached to the water pick machine was tube was hanging out of the glass. Yeah, big deal. I wasn't putting that in, and I walked away to let it soak for an hour or two. Well, 3 hours later, I came back, and Walter's in the kitchen, and I said, "What happened? Did you empty this?" Because the glass was pretty much empty. It was full of vinegar with the thing in it. He goes, "No, I didn't even know this was there. Sitting in the middle of the counter on the block. How did you miss it?"
I saw it there, but I didn't. I figured you were doing something. I thought, well, it seemed a little weird because there wasn't very much vinegar in there. Or very much liquid in there.
Anyways, where did the vinegar go? Well, the tube on it acted like a siphon and slowly drained the glass of vinegar all over the butcher blocks and the countertop and that. So,
and it cleaned the countertop.
It certainly does. Vinegar is a really great cleaner. But you know what else it is? It's a great warper. As the butcher blocks, I cleaned it all up and everything. The next morning, I took a look at them and went, "Oh, they're not supposed to do this." It warped them. So I went, well, I guess we need new ones of these. So Walter found one online, a bamboo style one. It was
there was a walnut one that I could have gotten that was more expensive, but then we went for the bamboo. Actually, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a nice one. But anyways, guess what? After about 3 days, the blocks unwarped. As the vinegar dried out in the wood, they went back to their shape. But that's okay. We needed new ones anyways. I like this new one we've got. It looks very nice. So I don't want to cut anything on it, although it's meant to be. Walter spent time oiling it and doing all this stuff, and you have to let it sit for 24 hours, and you oil it again, and it sits for another 24 hours to protect it. So I knew if I cut anything on it, I'd get yelled at. So, bamboo cutting board just for looking at. I don't know. So I went online and we have those white cutting boards, the acrylic kind of things or whatever they are, plastic ones. And they're getting kind of stained as they do. And that, so I bought a set of 3 ones on Amazon. They weren't very expensive. They're only like $19 for the set of 3. And they're black. They're not quite as thick as the ones we had, but I used one this morning. I think
so we used plastic cutting boards on top of
our wooden one. Yeah. Okay, go figure, right? With that. But anyways, Walter's been into housewares lately. What are you going to buy next in housewares?
Well, I bought a new knife block with some.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about it. That hasn't arrived yet. What? And you bought one why?
I bought one chef knife first, and then I thought, well, I like to get a few more, so I ended up buying a block with the same chef knife in it. So we got 2 chef knives.
Well,
I mean, they're not high quality. They're good quality, but they're not top of the line, real fancy ones. So, but they're pretty good.
I'll let you know when I cut his throat. Yeah. Oh, oops!
It's the ones that butchers use.
Oh.
You know the bearded butchers?
Oh yeah.
They use them.
Oh, okay. So that's where we got. That's something on YouTube. Yeah. So Dubrovka has a question for Walter. Where did you buy? Oh, we said that already. Answer that. Russ says you mute everyone for the presentations, which means they know where the unmute button is. True, Russ. This is true. Dubrovka says, was Amazon okay?
Yeah, it was Amazon, but a third-party seller, which was actually a Canadian supply store, Chef's Supplies or something like that. And I think they're out in the Kitchener area. It seems like they're all out that way.
Yeah. And Andy says, I bought a bunch of professional grade cooking pans 30 years ago, and they're still in great shape. Well, yeah, they're an investment. You know, you're going to pay a lot for them, but if they're good, like you said, you got 30 years out of them still and still going strong. You got your money's worth.
I looked around, and whether you buy it from Amazon. Amazon had prices were prices okay, but they didn't have all the pieces I wanted. So I looked around online, and I found other places that had stuff in stock in Toronto, and that's why I ordered it from different places, because I didn't want to buy just a set of pots and pans, because the sets usually come with smaller pots and pans than I wanted decent sized pots and pans. So the sets usually come with a lot of extra smaller stuff that I didn't really want. Like I didn't want a 7-inch fry pan and a 10-inch fry pan and a 12-inch fry pan. I just wanted a 12-inch fry pan.
Yeah, go big or go home.
And stuff like that, right? And so that's why I didn't really buy a set of pans, because but then I bought individual pieces, but it ends up costing you a little more, but you're getting what you want. So
yeah. So Judy says she uses Polident tablets to clean her water pick. Didn't think about that. That's an idea. Yeah. Well, maybe next time I'll do that. Susie's here. Nadia says, thanks for today's retreat. Enjoy Lydia's tour very much. And Inez says, I cut the cord on the electric frying pan as it was plugged in when I was cutting veggies on the board. Almost killed myself. What a shock. Hair stood on top of my head. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you don't do that. You should not do that.
Don't do that, Inez. No.
Don't cut electric cords.
Don't cut electric cords. So, anyways, yes, Walter bought pots and pans. Okay, so Chatty this past week, continuing on with our shirt making, or what I call Stephen makes a shirt, with Walter teaching me how to do it. We did the invisible pocket. That was not hard, but a little tedious. It was tricky, but I managed to get it on with Walter's help. And we were going to do something else that day, but we figured that was enough. I was going to do the
shoulder seams because they're not that difficult to do.
So is that what we're doing next week?
Yeah, that's where we have to do make a burrito.
Oh. I know how to make a burrito. I usually put leftovers in them. Not that kind of burrito. Okay, so that's what we're doing next week. So what? We're sewing the shoulder.
You know where the two yolks are?
Yeah.
You have to attach the two yolks to the front panels. Oh. That's why you have to make the burrito.
Okay, I'm sure this will make sense once I see how this is done. Ew, scary. So that's this coming week. That's what we're working on next. Wild Rose is here. Hello, Wild Rose. So yeah. Now we were talking before we went to air today too about after we get the shirt series done, which is still going to be a few weeks yet, because Walter listed off for me all the things we still have to do on the shirt.
Like we got to do shoulder seams, we got to do the sleeves, then we got to do the collar, right? Then after all that's done, we have to hem the shirt, hem the sleeves, and then put in the buttonholes and do the buttons.
Okay. Got my work cut out for me. All right. Well, if we ever get that done, maybe by then OESD will have put on sale the gingerbread windmill house from their Christmas collection on sale, because I really like that and I really want to make it. And it is a 3-dimensional project done in the hoop, and we've talked about those before, and we have done quite a few of them in the past as well. But it's $42 Canadian for it. But they always have a sale as we go towards the Christmas season on a lot of those kind of things for like 50%, sometimes 60% off. So I'm sort of holding back. I don't know how much patience I will have, because I thought that we could do that as our next series. And in that one, not absolutely sure how this will work out or how planned it, but my idea is we'll be working on different pieces of it. So Walter will work on his embroidery machine, and we'll do a little bit of fast forwarding video of that. I'll do pieces on my machine, and then we'll bring the pieces we've done together to create the final project. But we'll see. We'll see. No promises on that. Oh, Susie says, I've never burritoed a shirt. Must watch. Yeah, neither have I. Let's see. Okay, so that's what's coming up on So Chatty. So Tuesday, we are off to the Rexall Drugs to try and get a COVID shot again, a booster shot. If you remember, we went a week ago to the Shoppers Drug Mart, had it all booked and everything, and then the guy there informed us that they only had Moderna and we wanted Pfizer. And
so I don't know what we're getting on
we don't
Tuesday.
know. Well,
we'll get either one.
I would have gone with the Moderna, but Walter would not.
Well, no, you didn't say that.
Well, no, you said, no, I don't want that. That's so, like, okay, let's have a domestic here. Like, what are we going to do? Like, how we sit there and go, well, I want one.
Well, actually, I was just a little worried that we'd have a side effect with Moderna. And since it was the beginning of Thanksgiving weekend, I didn't want to feel shitty on it.
Would have given us a really good excuse to call up my sister and say, oh, sorry, we're feeling bad. You can't come. But that didn't happen. So we did find another place, another brand of drugstores. And what did you called them and asked them if they had Pfizer, didn't you?
I did, but they said it's on order, but it's supposed to come. So
anyways, we've got our booking for it. I want to get this thing done with because in a few weeks' time we're getting our flu shots. And from what I've heard, a lot of people have doubled up on the shots and they've had some reactions to, mixing the COVID shot with the flu shot. I never, knock wood, cross my fingers, I don't want to jinx myself. I've never had a reaction to any COVID or flu shots, but I've never had the two at the same time either.
I did have a problem with the AstraZeneca, remember?
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I felt ill after the AstraZeneca, and then I had some weird stuff happen.
Well, weird stuff. What? You grew a second head?
No, I had skin peel off in certain areas.
Oh, yeah, scabby. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Whatever. Pieces of you all over the house. But anyways, so we've decided that when we get there on that appointment, if they say they only have Moderna, we're taking Moderna. I want it over with. We take our chances.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think, if we do have a reaction, I don't think we'll have that severe reaction. It may only last 24 hours anyways. But I just want to get it over with and done. Another thing off the checklist of things to do. Nina says pillowcases are made with burrito method. Yeah, I know. I've never made a pillowcase. I refuse to.
I made one a long time ago, and I can't remember how I did it. So
you did that.
It could be that we did a burrito thing.
You did it. Yeah, you did it with Shirley, didn't you?
Yeah.
The Ultimate Sewing. It was a class that went with it
was the
serger class. Yeah, you serged it, and she likes to use the burrito method. It's very popular. I've just never made a pillowcase because I don't want to. Just like that. I mean, I know there's organizations that make them for kids and stuff, kids that, are in hospital or needy or whatever and that kind of thing. And that's fine and dandy. And not saying I never will. It's just not something that I feel I need to put a lot of effort into. Kathy says Tuesday is her day for flu and COVID shots too. Monkey Man says, still have monthly sociable. Have I missed it? No, we stopped doing that, Monkey Man. The social review, I think is what you're referring to, that had Russ and Shannon and Stephanie and myself in it. We found that we were hard pressed for topics that we felt were engaging for the audience, because when we started it, we thought that we get more people engaged. That's what we wanted. And we weren't getting that. And we were, quite frankly, we were spending a lot of time and effort pulling our hair out trying to come up with topics.
Yeah, so on top of that, like I mean, Stephen and Stephanie have the Wednesday sewing day,
Yeah.
right? And they have, I mean, Steve does a number of videos during the week and stuff like that. And then adding that as an
To our
other
thing.
thing was just another burden.
Like the 5 of us that are on that, we're just those of us. We're all creators, YouTube creators, except Walter. He is a supporting actor, in it. I keep him here for my candy. Yeah, apparently your fan club loves that. It was just getting to be too much for us. So no, we might at some point come back together for a special one, at some point in time. But no, you haven't missed any. My man, we're just not doing them right now. Sue says, I moved my sanded door hanger file to the thumb drive today for my next embroidery project. Ooh, you're getting into the Christmas mood there, Sue. Judy says, just had my flu and COVID shots on Friday with no reaction, nothing at all, not even a sore arm. So that's good, Judy. It affects different people differently, I guess. Bev says, Walter, have you lost weight? What am I? Fat pig?
Yes, I've lost
We've
weight.
both lost weight.
I have lost 25 pounds.
I feel insulted. I really do.
I was at my heaviest weight. I always have a range. And I was at my heaviest weight when I started.
I look bigger
And
because I have broader
I'm
shoulders.
down 25 pounds right now. So
Yeah. I'm down too, but I'm not sure how much. Because I don't
I know I'm down 2 belt sizes. So.
I know that my gut is not hanging over my belt like it did. So that's how I know. And my love handles are not, they're still a little bit there, but you got to fight to grab them.
It's very, very, very slow.
Yeah. We were out for a walk today. That healthy thing. I said to Walter, let's go for a walk. We were out earlier in the week, but we went for a walk together. He goes out every day for a walk, but this walk was a mega walk. We walked
7 kilometers.
7 kilometers. Yep. We did the circuit on that one, which meant we live in the north end of our city, and we walked all the way around past the university that's up by us and down to a major street intersection and back up the house. That was a bit of a trip on it, but we feel so much better for it. And Walter wouldn't let me stop and get ice cream.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of walking, and I've cut out a lot of carbs out of my diet.
Holy crap. And what's he say to me this morning? I'm getting a little tired of avocado toast every Sunday morning that I make. I tried to spice it up today. I used some of my pickled jalapenos with it and we have like hard-boiled egg that I slice in my little egg slicer and put it on. It looks very nice and attractive. It's very tasty, but yeah, I'm getting sick of it too. We've eaten a lot of that, like every Sunday. So, but I would love to make waffles or pancakes, but you can make those, but I can't eat any of that. You know how hard it is to cook anything without carbs? We had pizza last night.
Well, on top of that, like, I mean,
I got him
part of the
get
diet,
pizza.
but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not on keto or anything. I just have cut back on carbs. So
Yeah. So anyways, yeah. Carbs, we eat a lot of salads. Try to make the salad.
well, we ate too much stuff before.
Yes, we
ate
did.
too much pasta. We ate too much bread, and
Pasta, yum. Lasagna.
bacon. Yeah, you're gonna bake. I mean, I don't have a ton of bacon.
Carbonara.
If I make bacon, I don't make a ton of it.
See, I can live without bacon.
Yeah, I'm fine with those.
The way you make it.
Well,
when you take your bacon strip and you go like this, and it shatters,
well,
it might be a little too
okay,
crispy.
All right.
I like a little rubber
Yeah,
to it.
I don't even want to do pancakes with almond flour because it's making stuff out of. You're faking it. I made almond flour cookies.
Yeah. They were okay. They
Yeah.
weren't bad. They're just very, very soft and crumbly. We made them. They were
I've
okay.
been trying alternate pastas too, like chickpea pasta.
Yeah, I like the chickpea pasta and the whole bit with it. But yes, I love pasta. I could eat pasta all the time. Oh, we can't have rice. Can't have potatoes.
Well, I have the odd potato, but
Why is it odd? Oh, it looks
we've
fine.
had potatoes. We've had
Yeah,
fries
we've had a little
too,
bit.
but I don't eat a ton of them. So
We don't eat fast food,
no, that's for sure.
but we didn't eat a lot of that before. But we did eat more of it than we do now. But so yeah, we cut that out as well. So I'm hoping that when is it the next time you get your blood tested and look at your numbers and talk to
Yeah,
her?
my blood sugar was up. So last time my blood sugar was fine, and just because it's back to regular again, doesn't mean I'm gonna start eating this stuff
I
again.
know, but I'm hoping this effort is all worth it.
Yeah, I know my blood sugar is down now. So
And so he is going to make a banana pie though. But here you go. He can't have ripe bananas.
I can have ripe bananas. It's just I shouldn't eat them a lot.
Well, even in the old days when we could eat real food, we did not eat a lot of bananas.
No.
Bananas are good for you. They have lots of potassium. Okay. But
Yeah, like I made pumpkin pie last week or whatever, and I had pumpkin pie. So
yeah, you had pumpkin pie.
it has.
But
a
you made it
regular
with the
crust in
sugar.
it.
You made it with the sugar that makes you shit.
No, yeah, no, I made it sugar free. So actually, it wasn't sugar free. It was I used evaporated milk, and evaporated milk had a lot of sugar in it.
But it was delicious. I loved every bite. I could bury myself in it. So he said, I should make another pie. And I go, yes. Well, and then he says to me, and this is on the walk, so what kind would you like? And I said, well, what
I wanted
about
lemon meringue? But
I said, what about lemon meringue? No. Okay.
Actually, I thought of lemon meringue, but I'm not sure if I feel like lemon meringue.
And then I said, apple. No. Don't have. Well, I said,
well, no. I said no because we don't have enough apples. I have to buy
oh,
apples.
we can get some. Then I said, well, you still got pumpkin stuff left, don't
Yeah,
you?
I
You can
do.
make a pumpkin pie. I don't know if I feel like that. I said, okay, chocolate pie? I never get chocolate pie. No. What about, and then I said, what about banana cream? Well, no, I can't have ripe bananas.
Yeah, I know you're not supposed to eat ripe bananas, but I mean the amount of banana that would be in one slice of banana cream pie is not going to kill me.
So, he says, I can eat green bananas.
I mean,
Ever
technically,
eaten
I'm
a
not.
green banana? They're bitter, they're chewy, like, no. And they're even worse once you get the peel off. But I mean, there's a joke in there. But then he went out to Crappy Tire, as he does at times, and came home. You said you were going to Crappy Tire.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't end up going there.
Oh, came home with bananas, but he came home with a bunch of green ones and 2 yellow. And he says, well, don't you eat those because those are for the pie. I'm going to make a banana pie. And I went, okay, thank you. And I had to beg to get a pizza last night, a real pizza.
Yeah, but I made a salad for myself.
Yeah, he made a salad for himself. Big deal. So more
I
for
2
me.
slices of pizza.
I had 4. I have not had pizza in a while. I'm having 4. I am not pre-diabetic. But anyways, then I feel guilty because he looks at
and
me.
that's why he wanted to go on the walk.
Probably. Yeah, really. But I'm swelch. Sure.
Now I have to I have to take in some of my shirts. They're too big now.
Oh, just brag great. And well, I know that I had to buy a new belt for my pants, and I am getting into 34s, whereas before I was wearing 36s. So I wonder if I can ever get down to 30-inch waist. I don't think that's happening. That hasn't happened since I was about 18. Whatever. Judy said, oh yeah, we said about that. Kathy says, I love pasta, eat too much. Yep. Kay says, I cannot live without pasta. Judy's a diabetic also. Inez says, no diabetics shouldn't eat overripe bananas, too much sugar. Yeah. Kay says rhubarb.
Yeah, you still requires a lot of sugar.
Yeah,
Rhubarb
unless
pie.
you want to just eat it when it's sour. Actually, I don't mind sour rhubarb itself. I used to eat it as a kid that way when it was raw. Dubravka says eat everything but in moderation.
Yeah, I know, easier said than done, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
that
I mean,
is.
if you make a little bit of pasta, you'll end up eating a lot.
You just want to bury your thighs in it, especially when you're not supposed to have it, right? So
Well, it's not that I'm not supposed to have it. There's 2 things here. There's I'm watching my blood sugar so I don't get blood sugar spikes. And the other thing is that I'm trying to lose weight. So by trying to lose weight, that's part of it. So I don't want to eat the stuff that's going to make me fat.
The reason Walter looks right now kind of skinny is because I have broader shoulders than he
right.
does. Yes.
I know my face has gotten skinnier. If you look at the older videos that surround her.
Yeah, well, your little gooseneck under here, whatever.
Yeah, getting old looking. All the wrinkles are.
Whatever. Whatever. So, anyways, moving on. Thanksgiving dinner was okay. We survived. No one wrecked the furniture. Not saying any more about that. Yeah, it was fine. Everything tasted really nice with it. No, Walter did not cook everything for that dinner. He cooked the turkey. And he made the stuffing. Okay. The stuffing is stovetop.
And I made the pies.
Well, fine. I made the potatoes.
Yeah, with cream of celery soup.
That's the secret ingredient to it. Makes them very yum, yum, tasty, tasty. I put all the appetizers together. I set up. I cleaned up. Everybody thinks you do everything around here, and I do nothing. Except you just wait on me. I wish. I have to put up with your bitching and moaning. So that's a job in itself. Bye, Carrie. Andy says, I eat my meals off of sandwich plates instead of dinner plates. Helps me control portions and eat slower. Yeah, I've read about that. They say, to put, so you don't put as much on your plate, that kind of thing. We haven't gone to that point, but I just
put less on my plate.
We just try to eat a little less, and we try to eat more healthy. Lots of vegetables, lots of salads, things like that. And that doesn't hurt at all. And I like vegetables. The hardest part about eating a vegetable is digesting the chair. Okay, bad joke, politically incorrect. I love it. So what, sue me with it. And if you start berating me, I'll just delete you. Remember that. Okay, so speaking of nasty people on here. So you saw the topic today was, are Canadians really more friendly than Americans? Okay. We're not. We're horrible people. We really are. There's a myth that Canadians are nice. We are not nice. We have this image that, we're constantly saying sorry to people and we're polite. We are not. We are not. In fact, we're going to give you some examples of what I mean. Americans have a bad rap. Americans are always considered to be loud, obnoxious, and mean, and untrusting. Okay, well, thank you for joining us today on this topic. And we're like, no. And when you watch the news and you hear about crime in both our countries and stuff like that, but especially in the states where, in some states it's legal to carry a gun, a concealed weapon, and all that kind of stuff, you figure, yeah. And of course, the political setup right now, we're not getting into that and everything. Yeah, it makes you think that, but that's coming from the media. If it bleeds, it leads. We've talked about this before. But I want to get back to us as Canadians, why I say we're not that nice. And we're not. Okay? An example is go to a Walmart. Okay? A Canadian Walmart and an American Walmart. Last December, we were down to Stephanie's retreat in Dahlonega, Georgia. And there's a Walmart there. And of course, we had to go because, one of the things I like to do in my life is compare what we can get in a Walmart here with what Americans have in a Walmart. Because Americans always have a better selection of stuff. You have things in there that we have never seen or heard of before. So there was something we were looking for specifically. And I went to the aisle and there was a young guy, an employee of Walmart, stocking shelves up. And I went up to him, and I don't like to bother them when they're really, busy. But I said to him, okay, I see you're busy, but I'm just wondering, do you know where I'd find whatever it was I was looking for? I don't even remember now. He goes, oh yeah, not a problem, I'll show you. He dropped what he was doing. He led us halfway down through the store. took us up the aisle, right up the aisle. He didn't go, yeah, it's on aisle 12 or somewhere down in there. That would have been the Canadian way. Go to a Canadian Walmart, walk in and say to somebody, I'd like to looking for this. And they go, yeah, I think it's over in aisle 14 or something like that. Housewares, whatever. He took us right down there, right to where the exact item was. And then he says, is there anything else I can help you find? And I was kind of in shock. And I was like, no, thank you. You did more than I thought. I just figured the guy would say, yeah, it's down in that area or something like that. There is a fine example, but it's not an isolated case. We found in the States, when you go into a restaurant, they're all friendly. The service is really good. In Canada,
Oh yeah, like your Wendy's incident that you had
yeah.
when
Ageism. We went in, we did tell this story some time ago, but I'll bring it up as an example. So when we were down in Georgia and we went to a couple of fast food places in there, the help was always very polite, very courteous, couldn't do too much for you. In the Chick-fil-A that we went down to in there, we had never been to a Chick-fil-A, and of course, if you know Russ from Quilt Meets World, he should have shares in it because it's his favorite place. So we had to go, and we did. And I said to Russ too, when we were down there, I can't believe how fast, how efficient, and how friendly they are in here. We have a Chick-fil-A in our area. It's relatively new. We hadn't been.
It came in. It's almost a year old now.
Yeah, we hadn't been at all. There's other reasons why we don't usually go to a Chick-fil-A, because it has to do with their politics about my people, our people. But anyways, I said to Walter, actually, it was on the Saturday before Thanksgiving Sunday, and you were getting the bird ready. And I said, what do you want for lunch? I can go out and maybe I'll pick up something or whatever. And he says, let's have Chick-fil-A. They've got it. He went online. He says, they have a club salad that looks pretty good. Salad again. With chicken strips, spicy chicken strips or something. So I said, okay, sounds good. And what I really wanted was one of their milkshakes, because when we were down in Dahlonega, I had one of their milkshakes, and they make, I will say this, they make the best milkshakes ever. So I went in, and I get up to the counter, and I say to the girl who's waiting on me, the lady who's waiting on me, I says, okay, I said, I'd like a cup of club salad. She goes, the club salads are really good. You're really going to enjoy that. And I thought she was going to jump over the counter, kiss me, and have an orgasm. She was so enthusiastic and so friendly and so efficient. And she says, can I get you anything else with that? And I said, well, I would like a milkshake. I said, and I'm looking at the board, you know, and I'm under pressure. What flavors do you have? And she says, oh, well, we've got vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. And Russ had told me about a banana one, but they didn't have that one. I guess it's a special occasion kind of a thing, or maybe more so in the States. And she says, they're all really good. And I said, well, to have the chocolate one, thank you. Oh, that's my favorite too. Holy crap, woman, are you going to have a child right here on the counter? But she was so happy, so enthusiastic. Yeah, sure. I am sure she wasn't that excited over the fact a customer came in and ordered a club salad and a milkshake. But she made you feel like you were special, that you were welcome there, and that she could not do too much for you. So go into the Wendy's here. Yeah, I'll get to you in a minute. There's nobody in front of me in the line. Yeah, she had to check on something. So, being a Canadian that wasn't trying to show that I'm a bastard, I stood there very quietly and calmly and waited. And she came back. Okay, what can I get you? I have a coupon. Oh. I'll have to check this with my manager. Okay. Fine, you guys issued them. I don't know. Whatever. So she comes back. Okay, so it was for 2 Dave singles and something like that. And fries. Right. With
that was for the diet.
That was before the diet, yeah. So it's a while ago. So of course, you know, they have a condiment table these days. They don't just throw packets of ketchup on down on your tray. You go over and they've got a pump in your little cup, and you go pump, pump, and you get squirts of ketchup in your little pump. Fine, I don't mind that. I'll do it. But when I pumped it, nothing came out. But there were two of them there, so I thought, okay, this one's run out. I'll go with the other one. Well, the other one wouldn't pump at all. So I went back to the first one, thought, well, so I opened it up. Well, there's a bag. This ketchup comes in a bag. It looks like, if you ever bought a boxed wine, the bag that's in that kind of looks like that, and it's like empty. The other one, I took a peek in it. It didn't have a bag at all. So I go back to the counter, and I say, excuse me, I said, I think your ketchup thing is out. You have to pump it. I'm not new to the planet. I've used them before. And he says, I did, and nothing came out. Oh, just a minute.
She marches
around
the counter
and out to it. And she goes over and she goes, boom, boom. I said, nothing in. I said, I did take a little. She goes, well, there's another one. I said, that one's the same. She goes over to it. Oh. And she opens it up and said, yeah, the bag's empty. I said, I already did that. Oh. Well, and she made me pump it. Yeah. Like she says, pump it. Okay, I know how to pump it. She was treating me like I was some decrepit old man. Now, there were other people eating in the place, and she's not doing this quietly. I said, well, do you have some ketchup in the packets? I'll just take those. Marches back down, puts a plastic container, puts it down on the counter, slams it on the counter. There. So I took my ketchup, we got our order, and sat down. I was pissed. So I wrote to the company, to Wendy's, and I had her name because it's on their little thing.
It's on the bill.
It was on the bill too. So I figured out how to make a complaint to Wendy's. It's not easy when you're online. And I told them what happened. And I told them who the employee was and which store it was in and where it was located and the whole bit. I got an email very quickly back from them. This I was surprised at. But Wendy's is an American company, okay? But they were Canadian employees. Obviously, had not been trained in politeness or how to serve a customer with that. So, long story short, I got coupons for that. And last time we were in there, which was before the diet, didn't see that girl anymore.
No, but their service isn't that much
But
better.
Their service didn't change. They just treat you like crap.
I don't usually go to McDonald's, but and then this probably happened a couple of years ago. But I went into a McDonald's and there was nobody at the counter. And they have the boards where you have to order and stuff. And I thought, okay, there's nobody waiting at the counter. I'll just go up to the counter. And there were two girls standing there. It was later at night and there wasn't anybody there.
Were they doing this? So yeah,
no,
he called me last night, but I don't know.
They were having a personal conversation, the two of them, about boyfriends or something like that. And I waited there a good 5 or more minutes before, is anybody here serving the front counter? And they kind of looked at me and went in a huff and came up and
you interrupted their day.
Yes, I interrupted their order.
Do you think this is a fast food place? Really? Yeah. You expect us to wait on you? Yeah.
But that we've noticed that more and more.
Yeah, we've noticed that more and more. Canadians are not nice. Canadians will cut you off on the roads with their cars. God. I mean, I think they probably do that to a certain extent in the States too, but we drove all the way from where we live in Canada all the way down to Georgia. Wasn't really a problem.
And here we got a lot of 4-way stops, and you're supposed to.
They're just a suggestion.
Stop, and then go. Go through one at a time, and lately they go on 2 at a time.
Yeah,
it happened today with me too. 2 at a time.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, we are finding that Canadians are not nice. They don't even hold the door open for you.
Yeah, not anymore.
Like, they're just rude. They're just rude. So Americans, no. Now, yes, maybe if you're in a big city like New York, Chicago, something like that, people tend to be, and the same in our big cities, tend to be a little bit colder, but not nice, not nice. And, you know, like, maybe it has to do with what we're seeing on the media. It's making people to the point where they don't trust other people anymore, that people are angry all the time because the state of affairs in both of our countries, politically and the state of the world, is making us depressed, making us worried, the whole bit. Maybe that's doing it, but nevertheless, would it kill you to be nice? And what got me thinking about this topic was when I was getting my hair cut a week ago. A guy sitting in one of the other chairs, he was talking to the hairdresser, and they were talking about people don't smile or say anything to you anymore. If you're out on a walk and you pass somebody, they just look straight ahead, got a frown on their face. You don't say anything.
Yeah, the very few people, when I go on a walk, very few people say hi or anything.
Yeah.
And I even, like, I have a lot, some people have headphones on a lot, and maybe that's why.
Well,
But
we
I mean,
isolate
but
ourselves.
I have headphones, and I'll often say
Walter's
hi.
a real chatty Cathy going down the street. He sees strangers coming up and he goes, hi. And they look at him for a minute and go, hi. Like, I don't know. He's an old man. He's harmless. He's not going to beat you. Or will he? Never know about that. But I always find that the Americans, when we're on our so days, too, the retreat, so I'm with Stephanie Steve, I pop up so days. The Americans are more apt to be the first to greet somebody coming in than the Canadians. Now, I'll give you another example just from today after the retreat. I have had so many really nice emails saying how much people enjoyed the retreat, thanking us for our work with it, both Walter and I, and the whole bit. I mean, that makes you really feel good, okay? I've had more from the Americans than I've had from the Canadian audience. What's that tell you? Okay. Now, yes, mind you, there were more Americans than Canadians, but there were still quite a few Canadians on the retreat yesterday. Now, this is not to say that I expect anybody to write me a thank you email.
You're
No.
going to get more now.
Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. I just realized, though, it was the American participants who took more of the time. Now, I had a couple of Canadians who did as well. Okay, not all Canadians are horrible. Like, not all Americans are probably nice. You know, it works away. But another thing, now this is dangerous territory, and it's a good thing we're almost at the end of the video for this. So, dangerous territory here. In where we live, the community we live in, we have an abundance of immigrants. We have
more recent immigrants. Yeah.
Recent immigrants. And we're getting more and more of them in this country. Now, at one point in time in Canada, we prided ourselves on the fact that we had our doors open to everyone from the world that wanted to come here and become Canadian citizens. But what has been happening is that we have a lot of people claiming refugee status who are not, it's questionable what that status really is. Like, someone will come over and say, oh, I'm bisexual, I'll be killed in my own country. Are you really? Prove it. You know, it's what I say. We have students coming here to our universities on a student visa and they don't want to leave. All right. We have illegal immigrants coming in to work the what do you call it? The produce, the food.
Oh no, for people that pick like produce and stuff
produce
like that. Migrant workers.
And they have a temporary visa for that. And then after the season, they're here and they're trying to get the government to make them landed immigrants because it's a gateway to becoming part of Canada. We also have ones who, it seems for them, it's easier to get into Canada and then make the migration to the States via Canada too. And we're getting so many, and this is the danger part, okay? This is where you can very easily say, well, you're just being racist and prejudiced. I am trying not to be. But
There are some
there,
some people that have come in that are nice,
yeah,
obviously, but we've had quite a few incidents where people have come in and they have a different culture, so they don't seem to be integrating well.
they're not integrating well, and they're scaring us. You know, you're always afraid of the unknown. Okay. Yes, there's a solution to that. Get to know them. Not that scary. I know that. But what I'm saying is there is a subconscious level, and I think that's what's making many people somewhat fearful. Again, I have to go back to the media. The media paints a very dark picture of society. And it's, however, I don't know if you're having the same problem with this in the United States as we have here. And I call it a problem. It's a perceived problem. And it depends on your relationship to people that are of foreign birth. How you feel about them. And,
Well, we've got neighbors here that I think are fairly more recent immigrants, and the people that were in their neighborhood are also fairly friendly.
Yeah, here, well, so far, with it, but they do keep to themselves and to their own, and they come in clusters. What I mean is, one family from, say, India moves into the neighborhood, and in a few weeks' time, another house goes up for sale on that, and another Indian family comes in next door.
That the club where you said people have always done that. Like the Italians came here and they had the Italian Canadian club, and when my parents came here, they went to the Dutch club, and
but they were Europeans.
Yeah.
The other people are from are Asian, Euro Asia kind of a thing, and their backgrounds and religion are very different from what we were raised in. So it makes some people fearful of them because, again, you fear the unknown, kind of a thing. And the media doesn't help and other things that goes on. So that's making Canadians in general, I think, nastier. And it's out of fear. And so maybe something like that's happening in the United States. Do I have a solution to it? No. Ideally, what the solution would be is to say people are people. It doesn't matter where they come from. They've come here to, for various reasons, to have a better life or whatever. And we should, help them out and embrace them. That would be the Canadian way. That was the Canadian way years ago. It's not the Canadian way anymore. And I think we, as Native Canadians, and when I say Native, I mean people who were born here, I think we aren't helping them assimilate or to get to be incorporated into Canadian society because, again, we fear them. And so, I don't know. It's a very, very difficult conversation. But to go back to the main point of all of this, I have a different outlook on Americans. Americans as individuals, as people, and I've got to know many of them through the YouTube channel and through our so days and things like that, are nice people. And leave it.
Maybe just the ones that come on our channel.
Maybe we just attract nice people. I don't know on that kind of thing. But anyways, I just found that an interesting, from my point of view, it's an interesting observation. And I don't know what I'm doing with that information. Nothing. But anyways, food for thought. Okay, let's just finish up here. Let's see. Let's back it up. Russ says Dahlonega Walmart isn't representative of the rest of the U.S.
So are you meaning that they're nicer there?
They're nicer in Dahlonega than some places? We've been to other Walmarts.
And they've been nice.
And
in there.
we've had pretty much the same treatment there too,
In
as well.
different areas.
So, I mean, I'm sure there are nasties. There's nasties everywhere. You know, it doesn't matter where you come from, what your culture is, or the country, or whatever. There's nasties everywhere. Nessa, Stephen, the same happens here in Newfoundland Walmart. The employees take you to find
Actually,
things.
the Walmarts here used to do that.
Yeah,
And I blame it on lack of training.
yeah,
That to do that. Then the ones up here now, the one that we have, which I tend not to go to Walmart very much, but the one up here where it is bad if you ask for
Yeah.
where product is.
yeah. So yeah, it could be their training as well. Now Newfoundland though is special. I have never been to Newfoundland. Like to go someday, but you know there is a myth that the East Coasters are the nicest people in Canada. Newfoundland may be the exception to that. They maybe are. Oh, when we were down the East Coast, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, no, we ran into very similar things that we run into the Walmart type here or at the fast food too. So maybe not as frequently. I don't know, but there's less of a population. I mean, we are in all fairness, we do live in a very urban area.
Yeah, we live in a very high population area.
Yeah. So, you know, that. But there is a myth around the East Coasters that they, you know, they have a slower pace of life and are nice and friendly people. And I think Come From Away, the play, and that about Newfoundland and about the planes on 9/11 all being redirected to Gander, Newfoundland, and how friendly everybody was there and the whole bit. Yeah, I think they were friendly and very hospitable and were very helpful at the time. But that has seemed to have translated into the fact that all Canadians are that way. Yeah.
Yeah, Scruncher says your experience in Walmart America sounds like a one-off. The problem is that if you're American, you probably don't notice that. Whereas we notice it more because what we're used to. And then when we go down to the US, we suddenly notice that people are friendlier that are in the service industry.
Yeah. And I think too, Seely, what you're saying, and I think Russ said that as well. He said it's illegal not to be overly friendly, helpful, and nice at Chick-fil-A. And I think it has to do with training as well, because obviously the help at the Chick-fil-A that I went to here in our area, that was training. That was training. And it wasn't just the one girl either. There was another guy, he was getting the milkshakes and everything. In fact, when he handed me the bag with the stuff in it, I looked and there was a milkshake. And he was profusely apologetic and immediately got that and got it done with. So they were very nice. If that had been at the Wendy's that we'd been at or the McDonald's up here, we've been, now I gotta walk 2 steps over to the milkshake machine. Yeah. So I think it does have to do with training too. Brenda says Alan always writes a note to management to tell them what a helpful employee they had, as he thinks most people mention their complaints. Yeah, actually, that's always a good thing. And I've done the same thing. If I've had exceptional service, I have sent emails out to them and said, you know, this happened to me. It's not a complaint. I was very pleased with it. And I just want you to know that. I do that when I contact like Bell Canada or something online. If I get somebody that's really good, recently it was with Apple, even though they're an American corporation. Lady on the end of the line couldn't have been nicer, more efficient, and helpful with it. I mean, I want to go out and have dinner with her. She was that kind of personality with it all. And yes, that's probably all training, but nevertheless, they are following what they're supposed to do. Barb says Calgarians are friendly. No, Barb, they're not. I'm sorry, we've been to Calgary. They're not nasty, okay? But they're no more friendly than the people out in our end of the world. Yeah, so no, sorry. No, they're not. No, get over that. Newfoundlanders are friendly as well. Must be an Ontario thing when my daughter thinks, oh no, Oh no, it is not an Ontario thing. You people that come from the other provinces are nasty because you turn around and you're always telling us that we're bad and we're the nasty ones. Ah, gotcha on that one, didn't I? Uh-huh. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. Susie says, I went to Paris in March and people there were not friendly. Oh, well, don't even talk about France or Paris. It's poo-poo. Everything's poo-poo.
No, France is not.
No,
very
France
nice.
are not friendly. No, they're not. Not in Paris,
We've
anyways.
had run-ins with people.
Yeah, yeah. Ines says, didn't you ever hear Canada stops at Nova Scotia? It says, yeah, well, if we could sever it, we'd let you sink in the ocean. Oh, now I'm being a nasty Ontarian. Okay. Julie says, people have become an all about me society. Yeah, that's probably the thing. It's the me, me, me. Andy says, in companies, how a staff performs can also be a direct reflection of management staff. That's very true. Training is key, Susie says. Okay, so anyways, we're way over time today. So we're going to say bye-bye and probably suck on a piece of cardboard because there's no carbs in it for dinner. Yeah. So, new videos up next week. Check them all out and have a great what's left of today and have a great week next week. And we'll see you all soon. And I haven't figured out when the next pop-up so day will be, but stay tuned. It'll be coming soon. Okay, everybody. Have a good one. Bye for now.
Bye.